What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 17 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, we have entered Sylvania and received a warm Sylvanian welcome at Fort Oberstyre, wherein we met a fairly decent stack as well as the garrison, and we fought to destroy them. It looks like we still are a little bit damaged, so we will move to Castle Templehof, but we'll have to be careful about taking more, as casualty replenishment in SFO is going to make sure that that it'll be difficult to take it if we keep auto-resolving. We'll see. I mean, there are some decent units here, but there's also not a lot of them. On the bright side, though, Wolfram Custerman is almost here, and we're almost ready to transfer Karl the new stuff, which will make his army a little bit more powerful, and on top of that, reduce some of the upkeep because a few of these units will be subject to Karl's reductions. Now, in terms of what we gotta do this turn, let's see, who still has not moved right now? Gregor Rodziner, you guys, oh yes, you guys. Alright, first of all, Potion of Toughness, Razor Standard, and Grave Robber. We're gonna transfer those to Wolfram Custerman, as he's going to Sylvania now. Then, I think perhaps we start moving these guys out. Move them together, they're both kind of garbage armies right now, but perhaps together we can move them close enough and maybe sack Aquitaine. Get a little bit of XP and a little bit of gold to justify the costs. It's still going to take another 2 turns for the recruiter to finish up with the recruitment. So I would rather... wait a second. There's another possibility. War wagons take 1 turn. Okay, so what if we cancel this war wagon here? We complete this recruitment, and then we finish up the recruitment right at the edge of Aleheart instead. Just to be, just so that we don't waste the movement a little bit. Let's do that as well. I hope I don't forget next turn, but we'll see. Alrighty, Gregor, let's move you guys out. Let's move you here, and let's pop you into an camp stance. Another good reason to do that is because at Montfort, we're at least in green territory. We can move you out a little bit further as well. No, and maybe you guys should probably stand together, just in case you get attacked. And then we'll move you, Peter. You also still need a little bit of healing into Montfort. This place is a temperate climate, so we don't have the casualty replenishment reduction that we have in the unpleasant climate of the Northern Grey Mountains. Now, you guys have come to pretty much a consensus in the comments with regards to keeping Sylvania, so it looks like we will indeed be keeping all of Sylvania for ourselves rather than transferring. Fort Oberstyre is serving as a beachhead right now, which is allowing us to heal anyway, so this is quite useful. You have leveled up, Theon. Let's get you a point up and running. We could keep going through Comet of Cassandora, reduce the costs further. We have used it a few times. There's also Roiling Skies and Windblast, both of which are good spells, and we still want to get to probably several things here. Well, let's start with Comet of Cassandora. While we have a lot of magic, it's definitely a spell we'll probably want to use. Yeah, and there are Cairn rates to explode as well. Karl, You currently have magic damage from Dragon Tooth. Yeah, I think we'll keep that, and then keep the Lichbone Pendant on the Borderman, and then we'll take Galmaraz out later, and then give the Lichbone Pendant back to Karl. Still kind of stupid that Galmaraz doesn't have magical damage, but oh well. And we can deal with it with the Lichbone Pendant, which we really lucked into. In terms of tech, and there was a suggestion that we do, or a couple of suggestions that we do probably want to get more Battle Wizards ASAP, and I like looking at the technologies. I think I like that idea. We were originally going to get Engineers Guild to get the 10% research to reduce the research time of everything else, but by getting an extra Battle Wizard, we don't necessarily have to send that Battle Wizard into, well, battle. We can use him to steal tech, and we'll actually get a lot more research rate out of the tech stealing than we would just out of straight up going for Engineers Guild, and at the same time we'll be able to continuously level a wizard. Plus we'll get Engineers Guild eventually anyway, so it's sort of like doing both of them, so I like the idea. Alrighty, that looks good to me. Let's see if there's any buildings to build, anybody to move, any Diplo to do, and then we'll go next turn and continue our conquest of Sylvania. Do we need to switch anything here? You are currently in Imperial Taxation, that's probably not going to go away anytime soon. The rest of this I think is fine. We may want to switch for a turn to Council of Burgomeisters, not now, but next turn, so that Recruiter could move out faster. Although, will it be worth it? Nah, maybe not. Alrighty, let's go Diplo. And let's see if there's anything we can do here. Border Princes, we don't care about you, at least not at the current time. And, oh wow, non-aggression pact with the World Walkers. They'll attack us eventually. You want the military axes. We probably will have to do this before we move out to sack Aquitaine. I hope that Aquitaine isn't close enough to find Nakari, but close enough to find the High Elves, because if we could get trade agreements going with them, that would be quite valuable. And in fact, there's a good reason to destroy... Peace with Sylvania. There's a good reason to destroy Grom and get the defeat trait on Gregor here as well. You know what we should do? We should check the Wood Elves. Let's see, Arguelon. You want to join war against anybody? Red Eye. Minus 0.6. Ah, too costly. 1.6, 1.3, 0, yes, definitely. And 2.3, alright, let's do that. For free. And that'll make them even friendlier with us. Beautiful. Next up, I guess we'll do all the Wood Elves while we're here. Alright, how about this? You join war against... So is Sylvania still free? No, it is not. Huh, okay, I guess Turthu really didn't want, or really wanted to attack Sylvania. You don't seem to want to attack anybody. Alright, fine. Alright, what about Talzin? Worms, nope. Gits, nope. Sylvania, yes, alright. Molder is a nope. Bone Rattlers is also a nope. Alright, fine. Like so. They're not gonna come here, they're too far away and they're fighting things on their own borders, but it's just extra relationship. Alrighty, Torgavan, you're up next. We should probably do it with a lot of other factions. You know what, I think next time I'll just do it between the episodes because, just to not waste time like this. No, okay, Torgavan doesn't wanna. And I'm going to assume that Wait, was that Vidrioth or Torgavan? Damn it. I don't remember which one it was. I'm not sure. Who cares? Alright, I think that's good enough. If there's other factions to cause some war decks, we'll deal with it later. Okie dokie, that was diplomacy, and you know what we should also probably do? Let's spend some prestige. Specifically, let's get another Electoral Machinations, and let's get Nordland up to 10 fealty. I know that I was saying that we just keep everybody at 9, and they will eventually go to 10 themselves anyway. But the thing is, this grows in expense over time, and who knows, maybe we don't get a good luck and then you don't go to 10 fealties, so the faster we get up to 10 Imperial Authority, the better. And we'll have to drop down when we confederate Talabecland, which is probably within 4 turns or whatever, so yeah, let's just do it. Increase fealty, this is Nordland, yes? Just to double check, yes, good. Alright, you know what, while we're at it, Imperial Adjutants. Let us get another, let's say, well, the handgunners would help. You know what, yeah, let's get the handgunners. And we can put it on our new ranged army, well, our ranged army. We'd actually have 2,000 left over if we were to spend a little bit more. You know what, maybe that's fine. And get the patrol captain halberdiers as well. Yeah. While the adjutants are reasonably cheap. Maybe we should just keep spending money on adjutants right now rather than more fealty, as our fealty's in a pretty good place. Alrighty, next up, Gregor. You, my friend, are going to carry... Well, I guess you'll carry both for now. It really depends on who we attack with. Because it only affects, I assume, the army that is the main attacker. Let's get you the handgunners. We'll swap those out if needed. Yeah, something like that. In fact, you have a decent amount of range infantry as well, so you could benefit just as much from it. But it really depends on who does the attacking. Well, when we get there, we'll see. Okie dokie, that looks good. We've spent our prestige. We are going to now end the turn, I guess. Not going to upgrade that Kislevite outpost as yet. Not until we get access to the war sleds, the heavy war sleds, mind you, and the other stuff. Oh, I do wonder, has SFO changed... made some differences between the heavy war sleds and the light war sleds, because in vanilla the heavy war sleds are basically just straight upgrades. And I remember when playing my Boris Ursus campaign, I figured that the best way to change it was to give light war sleds Vanguard deployment and not do the same on the heavy war sleds. I'll be curious to see. Although it could be just a change in armor values that they did. Anyway, we'll see when we get there. I believe that's an end turn. We can only get attacked here in Sylvania unless I'm mistaken, so this is where we're gonna look. And though somehow I doubt it. There's well, it really depends on if they can go all the way from like Eschen and Castle Drakenhof to Fort Oberstyre, but even if they have a full stack, I somehow doubt they're gonna attack Karl directly. Oh, we got a new lord coming up. And Kuran, you want what? You want that military access. We're gonna decline this for now. We'll do it next turn, but maybe we'll let the turn end, because it might get a higher value, because every single turn we're increasing in our relationship with Lewin there. Where are you going? What is this? The Moot. Stirland demands region. Oh, okay. So Averland has taken the region. Stirland's at 8. Averland's at 6. We could just put them both up to 7 to even them out. I guess we'll do that. Wait, if Stirland's up at 8, Averland will be at 6. Wait, no, this will put Averland up to 5. But Stirland's almost maxed out at 10, which would mean more Imperial Authority. And then we could just increase fealty of Averland a bunch of times. You know what? No, return the Moot to Stirland. Even if Averland hates us for it. Averland's probably the least important right now for us anyway, and once again, we're going to return territories to them via Carrick Hearn. Demand the Moot's return, I guess. Alrighty, sorry Averland. And hopefully this just gets taken and then we can take it for ourselves. Or give it to Stirland immediately for 10 fealty. Now, what do we have here? So first of all, Karl. Do we want to get this farm up and running? It's 1,000 gold, but it will increase our casualty replenishment rate when we reach Waldenhof. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. We'll send Karl to Castle Tempelhof, and we may or may not do this manually. It is low casualties. I'll think about it.
Raise your weapons.
Let's continue doing what we're doing, and you know what? Let's check that military access, because we do want to start traveling through Bretonnian lands, and we don't want them pissed at us. It's 2. Was it at 1.9 before? I think it did increase slightly. Well, you're not going to trade settlement right now, I think, because we haven't upgraded yet, but let's double check. Montfort for Grunzint? No, no dice. Alrighty, what about join war against Sylvania? It was free with the Wood Elves. It's basically free with you. Beautiful. Broken Axe? No. Wait, these guys aren't fighting Broken Axe? Oh, huh. Yeah, so we're free to keep annoying them, and if we go down here and destroy the Warherd of the Shadowgate, we could, in theory, take Bordelot. It would mean, once again, coming into contact with Nakari, which is not such a great thing. But it would mean also coming into contact with the High Elves, which would mean bonus trade agreements for us. Oh, you're willing to fight the Bone Rattlers? Sure. Crooked Moon? Yes. Alright. Good, Lewin. Good. Clan Molder? No. What about Clan Worms? Sort of. Mutinous Gits? No. Red Eye? Yeah, so Red Eye versus Worms. I don't know which one is stronger. We're not paying you money, though. Let's go Red Eye. It's not relevant. We're only doing this to weaken the faction and get a little bit of extra relationship with them. It's fine as it is. Alrighty, next up, you, Recruiter. You're gonna go right to the edge of this territory. Like so. You are going to move into Altdorf. You are going to join... you're just gonna go... Alright. And then can you go into regular stance? No, but we'll take away your Warhorse so we don't have to pay for it. And you don't need that Potion of Speed either. Alright, now, Recruiter. Recruit one more War Wagon, and that'll be this army complete. No, not this army, but the Fire While Moving army. You guys are doing a good job healing up, so you can continue to do so. And I believe that's it for what we have to do here. I mean, I guess we could actually start moving these guys, because Recruiter can catch up to them. Yeah, maybe. Alright, let's carefully... Well, we could move just to the edge of Montfort and still be in our own territory and continue healing quite a bit. If these guys aren't actually at war with Aquitaine, it's still pretty okay. How far can you go? Not super far. You follow along. How much do we heal here, incidentally?
Leave no one behind.
Do we need to be full HP is, I guess, the question.
Protector of the weak.
Now, let's stay right on the edge of our own territory. Right here. Are you in our own territory now? I think so.
Sigmar be praised.
And then these two can move out to Aquitaine together, and then Recruiter will, to some degree, catch up to them. Alright. Though if we move further, we might actually be able to reach it next turn. We won't be able to heal, mind you, but do we need the heals? We're not that damaged. You know what? We're not that damaged. Let's just head out to Aquitaine, then. Yeah, let's do it. You're gonna go here. Like so. And you're gonna follow along. Ooh, hello, Grom. I wonder if he's in range of us. And I wonder if we're in range of him. I guess we'll see. You're gonna move out here. A little bit closer.
Stay together.
Mostly just to see if we can attack him. Huh, it looks like we might be in range. He might attack us, though. What might happen is he might move out and attack, and then jump one of these armies in. It's a very distinct possibility. But still. In fact, oh damn, just realized something. We want you, Gregor, to get the defeat trait for Grom, because Peter already has it, and you would like to get the, what is it, Weight Watcher? It gives us 10 relationship with High Elves. Hopefully you can reach him. Is there any way to increase your movement range? You don't have Root Marcher, damn. Oh, well, that's a shame. Oh no, I also forgot we got a second Brass Cleaver. You know what? Let's give the second Brass Cleaver to you for now. We're gonna transfer it over to Wolfram, but he's not fighting right now, so there's no need to necessarily give it to him. And you don't need the armor. We can actually give you Beast Slayer as well, just temporarily. Maybe that's better than the Brass Cleaver. You know what? Let's give you the Beast Slayer. If Wolfram's not needed to carry it right now, we'll give the Brass Cleaver to the other guy. The Potions of Speed are relatively meh, and I think... Oh, they provide reload skill. It's kind of nice. But I think nonetheless we're going to delete these. There are better potions. Fuse, and let's hope we get something better. And Obsidian Lost... Oh wow, that's like the worst thing we could possibly get. Absolutely useless. Alright, you take away the Terrifying Mask of E. You can have a Potion of Toughness instead for when you fight. Keep the Luck Stone, and then hold on to a Charmed Shield, I guess. Better than nothing. Alright, then... Is there any way that we can make him move faster? Oh, I guess you don't actually need the Grave Robber anymore, since you're not fighting Vamps here. Ancillaries. Bone Picker casualties, what? Oh, it's only for heroes, damn. Messenger, 10 campaign movement range. Yes, that's what we want. Alright, beautiful. That works out. And then you can temporarily hold on to the Brass Cleaver, and get the Terrifying Mask of E in case anybody actually moves close enough to you. Alright. You guys are set up. Beautiful. Next up. Let's double check diplomacy again, 1 second. Don't care about the border princes. Karakadrin, yes, definitely.
Greetings, manlings.
We can be friendly.
Are you ready to slaughter the enemy?
I wonder how much money they'd give us if we were to join war against, let's say, the Slaves of Zar. The Slaves of Zar will inevitably declare war on us. 5.7, that's not bad. And 1,700 money. That'll make us friendlier with Karakadrin, and most likely friendlier with Karazakarak as well. Both of which are good things. You know what, why not?
Yes.
So,
Might as well. And it'll probably make Imric like us as well, so maybe we can have nicer, friendly relationship with him. Talzin is ready for a defensive alliance. The question is, do we want to do so with Talzin? They might get into a war with Clan Angrand. And perhaps this is not something we want right now. We do want to get the defensive alliance with them, but maybe we'll wait it out a little bit. Also, just want to double check. Lorelorn, you still not willing to join this war? No, okay. And just gotta keep checking. And ooh, hello. I see scaling up north. And granted, it's not a full stack, but I do wonder where you're going, scaling. And this stack probably can't take Marienburg, but it could probably damage some of these territories. Interesting that they're sailing down here when they're at war with these guys, and Wrecker's Point looks pretty sparsely defended, but that's the AI. Alrighty, Wolfram and Karl. First of all, Wolfram, we're gonna send you to Fort Oberstyre. I wonder if you'd still be able to reach Oberstyre if you try to help here. I feel like you won't.
Following Sigmar's path.
Let's just make sure we heal up at Oberstyre. I'm sure Karl can handle Tempelhof himself. Like so. You have how much movement points left? 20, eh? If you move right out here, and that costs no points, and then we could move right here. That'll cost... Yeah, you'll have 6 left. I don't think it'll fly. And I don't want him to take damage, that's the thing. Alright, fine. Stay here then. Alright, I think we're gonna have to do this manually, just to reduce the casualties. Although it is low. This doesn't look like a difficult battle. How much damage would we take, I wonder? I really didn't want to waste time on a battle that the enemy has no chance. I mean, you know what, let's just risk it, screw it. Auto-resolve, don't screw us on this. Okay, that was a little bit heavier than I'd like in terms of damage, but what can you do? We are not returning this to Elector, we'll take it. Camp Follower. That's all we got, alright. And we got a stables, but we will not be keeping said stables. Let's get those basic walls up and running, as we'll need to defend the place. Alrighty, anybody need any buildings? Blackstone posts? Nah, I think we're gonna hold on to the money for now. And I think everybody else is good. Alrighty, well then. I guess we end the turn and then we proceed to Aquitaine and probably a massive fight against Grom. And hello, he has Goblin Rock Lobbers. Quite a few of them, in fact. I'll be interested to see whether he attacks us or not. Unassigned skill points. Do either of you need... Do any of you need points assigned? No, it's just you. In fact, you can have Irrepressible. Wait, I missed that. Irrepressible, my bad. And the Recruiter, you can have Irrepressible as well. Okie dokie. That's decided. Outpost upgrade irrelevant. End the turn, and let's see about fighting Grommy. Or whether he attacks us. If he attacks us, then we'll only be able to access one of our adjutants, unfortunately. Because it'll be one of these armies that gets engaged. Broken Axe indeed is going to attack us, and he's going to attack Gregor, though. Ooh, okay, that's nice. I'm very glad that he's attacking Gregor. Because if we defeat him... And we're not going to retreat, we're going to do this. If we defeat him, then Gregor will get the defeat trait. Looks like a pretty darn nice battle, a Pyrrhic victory. The Goblin Rock Lobbers are going to be a huge issue. And... well, actually, this entire army is going to be an issue. Stone Trolls, major problem. Because we don't have a lot of armor piercing. Snotling Pump Wagons will absolutely break through our battle lines. And they've got a decent amount of cav as well. Really, we just need to be able to hold them off until our reinforcements get here. Let's see if we can manage it.
In the name of Sigmar!
Alrighty, here we go. This should be pretty interesting. Once again, Grom's army is designed to break through our lines fairly quickly, so we'll have to be careful about that. And they have 4 artillery pieces, while we have none. Pretty big difference. Before the battle started, I was sitting there thinking, what would be the best way to deploy in this particular situation? The reinforcements started on this side, and I was wondering whether it would be beneficial to move them here or something, at the cost of time. And at the end of the day, I decided to keep them there. Generally speaking, the AI does react to reinforcements, and if we can force the enemy army to separate into 2 halves, they won't have the sheer mass and momentum needed to properly break through our lines, and therefore fail. Or at least that's the plan. Whether it actually works out or not really depends, and we'll actually have to see whether the enemy army does properly react to this and separate. But even if they don't, we do have Firewall moving on the Hunters, or the Huntsmen rather, and on the Free Company militia and the Lord here, so they can move up while moving, and the archers could reinforce them. Now, unfortunately, the best place to deploy for this army was actually out here in the corner. The only proper hill other than this one was this one, and this is just the best place on the map to deploy because there's a big impassable terrain piece here, and some woods on the sides as well, which actually do help us because any larger units are obviously debuffed there. And while, once again, I don't generally like to deploy in the corners, this is one of those exceptions where if the best piece of terrain on the map is there, we do have to make use of it, because if this was in the center of the map, we'd still make use of it because it's hill plus impassable object plus protective woods. But we'll see how many of the enemy army actually goes up here. We also have a reasonably decent firing lane where these places are clear, so we can have all of our crossbows deployed up here and they can fire down without being blocked by the trees, which are kind of everywhere elsewhere on the map, so really not much better of a place than this. We are obviously going to make some good use of this impassable object, this little tree and all these rocks, to get our swordsmen on the side, our halberdiers deployed out front so that they get attacked first because it's a summoned unit, our Free Company as a second line rather than guarding the flanks to fire directly into the trolls while they destroy our swords, and then the crossbows directly behind them protected by both lines, and plus our Lord, who still does not have a mount because I forgot to put it back on him. I gotta make sure to do that. He's no longer defending a wall after all, though being on foot will make him a little bit tankier. It's just that he won't be able to reposition himself super quick, but maybe that'll be fine in this particular situation. Alrighty, so we got our reinforcements moving on to the field now, and now the enemy has to figure out what it wants to do. Looks like I see a couple of snotling pump wagons peeling away, and the enemy artillery, or at least 3 of the enemy artillery and all of their trolls seem to be heading towards Gregor here. But looks like all the pump wagons, in fact, their fast movers and their boar boys are peeling away to deal with our reinforcing army. Probably a good thing. And it looks like this artillery piece will immediately start annoying us. The enemy's also going to send its Goblin Big Boss and the giant River Troll Hag our way. Alrighty, looks like this is already working for us. Enemy's going to screw itself over by separating its forces like this. I'm going to speed it up a little bit while the battle is joined here. Looks like the enemy's going to start off by getting that Spirit Leech from the Giant River Troll Hag. I believe it was on one of the pikes. And here we go. Rock lobbers lobbing those rocks into our unit of handgunners, which is fine because they're a summoned unit. We are going to immediately have all of our hunters and as many of our archers as we can target the units of pump wagons. Pump wagons, while doing a lot of damage, are extremely fragile and can get ripped apart by range units like this very quickly, so that's the plan. And we do have pikes moving out front for when the enemies charge. There we go. Was a little bit too late to stop them, but it's okay. There we go. Not too bad, and that pump wagon unit is up. More pump wagons, however, are moving in, and we will still continue to fire on them and switch fire to them as needed, and then follow up with the River Troll Hag after. We are also peeling away our 2 units of Free Company militia in this army, as they're going to head directly towards the enemy artillery pieces, as we have no other way to kill them, and we do want to destroy them via the or before we defeat this army, assuming that we win, because otherwise they'll have to be fought again, and we really don't want that. It looks like the enemy Goblin Big Boss is quite in trouble here, fighting the pikemen, possibly surprisingly, while everybody else is ripping those snotling pump wagons apart. And there, a unit deleted. We'll have to do our best to try to focus individual units down. Over on this side, we are being attacked as well. Looks like the artillery pieces are going after our halberdiers, which certainly works. And the boar boys are charging our lord together with the swords. Looks like our lord's going to take the charge, which is great, as our units won't be too badly damaged. And the crossbows, together with those Free Company, are going to start gunning down the boar boys, and by the looks of it, pretty effectively at that. Alrighty. Looks like it's working pretty well, and I just also want to point out that the enemy doesn't even try to get around our flanks. It very well could have, so I guess the fact that we're in the corner won't make much of a difference in this particular situation. I like the color scheme of the armor on the Black Orc Big Boss there. Alrighty, and there we go. Grom is now in, and we are going to focus him down with every single crossbow and both of our Free Company militia on this side, hoping to bring him down. He is going to pop that lucky banner, and he's going to get 25% damage resistance or ward save in combination with the 25% missile resist, plus his regen and the massive amount of HP he has. So even with all that focus fire, he's going to take quite the while to be brought down. And these swords are also being charged by the trolls here, which is going to be much more problematic as we lack armor piercing, and while these shots from the Free Company militia are indeed armor piercing, they do too little damage to actually bring down these trolls, or at least bring them down quickly enough. So this flank is a little bit more in trouble, and now the Free Company militia being charged by the Boar Boys as well. In fact, we're going to back off a little bit and try to make use of this impassable terrain while using the other Free Company militia that was up here to reinforce, and switching out a few of these crossbows to start focusing on these Boar Boys and then the trolls after. Our Lord is defending against some forest goblins back here, as well as possibly Grom, who's decided to run around with him being focused down. Perhaps he took too much damage. Here comes that soul fire on those forest goblins, and they've been absolutely destroyed by that. And it looks like the battle is going our way, though we are starting to take damage. The swordsmen are out, and I think the other swordsmen actually ran off the map. And these ones are also kind of in trouble as well, though Grom is too. It looks like we did manage to catch the goblin rock lobbers over here, and the rest of our army or Peter's army rather, is now moving forward. Enemy's gonna send some orc biggins to try and annoy us, but we'll try to move away as best we can with our Free Company, while the range units try to kill off every single biggin. They will have to give chase to the Free Company, and they're gonna fire into the enemy. And our huntsmen can obviously fire while moving, so they will advance while firing into the biggins. And if those guys want to allow us to shoot them in the back, well, who are we to complain? Alrighty, one of our other units of Free Company is finally approaching all of these goblin rock lobbers with the hope that we can tie them up and prevent them from firing anymore. And we're gonna do the best we can there. It looks like the Gobos are out, the Boar Boys are still fighting. Grom has decided to abandon the field with about 1,000 HP remaining, but I was never expecting to actually kill him here. If we had the Hunters or the Huntsmen here, perhaps we could have, but not with the regular crossbows. Our Archlector is fighting some units of trolls by himself here. Those are some big clubs that are failing to kill him somehow. Swordsmen are going to move in to help a little bit, but honestly, we need to focus on this flank more. The Archlector can hold those guys in place, but we need to make sure that our range units do damage to the rest. Looks like our Free Company are still holding where the swordsmen failed. It almost makes me tempted to just not even bother using too many swordsmen and just replace them with Free Company, who are considerably cheaper and they're quite effective. Yeah, they don't hold the line as long and probably have less HP as well. Is it 15k on the swords and 10k on the Free Company? 14 and 11. Actually, not that big of a difference. If we had the Emperor's Finest buff on the Free Company, I don't think we'd bother using the swords at all. But with the Emperor's Finest, there's a reasonably decent enough gap, so it really depends on the Lord that's using them. Alrighty, well, the trolls will keep fighting, but they're also going to continue taking shots to the face, both from the Free Company and the crossbows. In the meantime, it looks like the biggins have been pretty much destroyed while chasing that other unit of Free Company. Absolutely a waste of the biggins there, as they could have done decent amounts of damage to our pikes if they hadn't failed. Our huntsmen and our lord are moving up this way in order to try to catch the goblin rock lobbers and fire while moving, so they will chase and they will fire, and hopefully they will destroy the units so that we don't have to deal with those artillery pieces again. There we go. Second army is in pretty darn good shape, and it looks like the enemy has decided that it cannot overcome what we have left and is going to shatter. Lovely. Alright, that went pretty darn well. The trolls did quite the number on us, 100 kills on these rather. Gonna try to bring down as many as we can with our focus fire from our Free Companies and our crossbows. It looks like they will get off the field, unfortunately, but it was a pretty decent amount of damage. Now it's just a matter of chasing as best we can all of those rock lobbers down, but I guess we don't need to see that. Alright, looks like this unit will at least be destroyed. I'd be curious to see how much damage we got. Once again, the Free Company just doing great work all over the place. Looks like the archers did comparatively little damage, and the huntsmen did considerably more. 11k on these, 3k on even the Deathjacks, and then most of the archers. Yeah, they don't have the range. Looks like one of them actually got 8k, which is not too bad, but yeah. Not enough range on the archers to make them work, which is why we're going to replace them all with max huntsmen as soon as possible. In fact, as soon as Recruiter gets here. Oh, well, there we go. The divide and conquer strategy that we ended up going with here seems to have worked quite well, and maybe something to do in the future as well whenever we bring 2 armies to the field. Close victory, but not too much damage, and I think we remain viable enough to attack Aquitaine. Alrighty, not too bad. We certainly did suffer some losses here, 700 units by the looks of it, and they were by and large the swordsman units, but nonetheless, we were able to destroy the giant river troll hag, the goblin big boss, both units of biggins, as well as almost all the goblin rock lobbers. Would have loved to destroy the 4th, but well, we couldn't chase it down at the end there. Still, the army is considerably weaker. I imagine that Grom will move back to his territory, heal up, and recruit some units, but nonetheless. We also got 3.7k, or 3.6k out of it in terms of cash, which is pretty good. Alright. Now, that also gives us the defeat trait, which is going to be quite valuable, and I'm very curious to see how much HP Grommy will have left there. Too bad, by the looks of it, we'll actually have to directly attack the settlement, rather than drawing them out, in which case we might have had some benefits, but it's okay. Ally begins outpost construction swell for Karazakarak, mission successful for Arguelon, and there we go, that's what we wanted. Diplomatic relations plus 10 with High Elves. We got a Dragonbane gem, which ain't too useful. Whoa! Warheart of the Shadowgate got destroyed. That's great, Carcassonne, in some ways, and not so great in others. Not so great because we aren't actually in range of Bordelot yet. And I would love to claim Bordelot for ourselves, but by the looks of it, Maxime Delaunay may take it before we do? Well, either way, we will be attacking and taking out Aquitaine next episode, though by the looks of it we won't have enough time. This time around, still, might make for a very decent battle, as there's a pretty decent garrison and it has even more trolls. At least 2 more units of more, maybe 3 depending, can't quite see, and another rock lobber as well, plus another Black Orc big boss. It could still potentially be very dicey. As we saw, the trolls just take so much effort to kill. Ugh. Alrighty, now in terms of what we got going on in Sylvania right now, well, I guess we could siege this place. We will actually have to decide who is going to deploy up front.
Huntsman General.
If this is not a minor settlement battle, and by the looks of it, it isn't,
Huntsman General.
well, actually, it probably won't matter who attacks first. We'll figure it out next episode. We'll probably have to transfer some troops from one army to the other as well. We will have to wait for reinforcements, but I doubt the enemy is going to attack us. Now, in terms of what we've got going on in Sylvania, it looks like Vlad is back, and Schwarzhofen has indeed fallen to Wissenland. Let's send Karl all the way to Waldenhof. This will complete the province A, and B, it'll allow us to heal up more because of this farm that's coming up. Let's also get another farm, or maybe the wood? Farm would help us grow. The reason I'm thinking maybe wood would be just for the extra little bit of lumber, which might allow us to get more trade agreements going, which we do need right now. If you head to Waldenhof, we'll most likely have to manually fight that. By the looks of, yeah, okay, it's got a defensive structure. We'll actually have to physically fight that. They've got towers, they've got face of death casualties medium. We can't risk that.
War calls. Men,
And we'll have to do that battle next time as well. Wolfram, you still need to transfer troops. Okay, here's how we'll do this. We'll send Wolfram, let's say,
the Emperor would be displeased.
get out of this, go into a camp stance, and go right to the edge of Castle Tempelhof, like so. And then what we'll do is we'll meet together at Eschen. Probably we'll be able to... Well, actually, this has got a defensive structure as well. Well, but with 2 armies it shouldn't be much of a problem. We'll meet together at Eschen and then we'll attack that. And there we will transfer the troops as well. Plus you'll be at full health. Karl will... Well, actually, we'll see what Karl will be at. But yeah, we'll take Eschen together next episode. Looks like we got 2 big battles that's coming up next episode. Let's make sure that we have everything else figured out. Iron Mine? Yeah, sure. It's a decent upgrade. And can't collect income here. And ooh, Grungzint, are we ready for you yet? 1 turn until Montfort gets upgraded. Perhaps when it does, we'll be able to. Until then, I think I'm going to call the episode here. We've got a plan for next episode, as it were. And full military alliance with Argwalon if we want it. Defensive alliance with Kurun if we want it. But if we do, we'll suddenly get into a battle with Be'lakor, and I think we're going to have to wait on that. Because Be'lakor is going to come to Gorcel and to Arnau, because he's right here in Albion. And I feel like we'll want to wait until both of these territories... Oh, you're about to get upgraded as well. Let's briefly switch you to... Oh, you're already in Council, Burgomeisters. Yeah, we'll wait until we have the Tier 3 garrison in both Gorcel and Arnau. It's a little bit annoying that we're going to lose a lot of money out of Marienburg because we have the money reduction, but hopefully other buildings will compensate for it because we'll clearly need it. We also might build even more defensive structures here, like a Reichsfort at Arnau, for example, and something at Gorcel as well. I guess we could double up on Reichsfort. No, we have to still build the Weaving House or whatever at Gorcel. We can do a Reichsfort at Arnau together with a the Weaving House. We still want to generate money, but these places are going to get attacked by full stacks throughout the campaign, most likely, until we sail out here and take out Albion. But that'll probably be Karl's doing, and he's, well, let's just say he's a long way away from that. Anyway, calling it here next time. Big battle against Grom the Punch to take Aquitaine, and then possibly on to Bordelot, depending on how these guys react and whether they take it before we do, and another big battle at Waldenhof and possibly Eschen, depending on which ones we can get to. And then on the way to Castle Drakenhof. So stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.